Marshmello came onto the scene a decade ago, and in that time, he has been literally everywhere to the point where Marshmello is almost inescapable. One major key to Marshmello's success has been collaboration, working with some of the world's biggest pop stars, rappers, pop punk bands, underground bass producers, and main stage stars alike. Using this strategy, Marshmello has gotten his brand in front of millions of people with staggeringly different taste in music. But the collaborative nature of the Marshmello project goes far beyond music, as he has landed deals with some of the biggest brands in the world, cementing Marshmello's place outside of the music business as a marketing powerhouse. In this video, we'll be diving into the business aspects of the Marshmello project in order to better understand how he has become a filthy rich Forbes list DJ. We can't talk about the business of Marshmello without first understanding the key dealmaker operating somewhat behind the scenes. Enter Moe Shalizi, Marshmello's manager. Shalizi was born in Palm Springs, California, to parents who immigrated from Afghanistan. His family moved to Irvine around the time he was 5, and they later moved to Corona when he was a teenager. His family didn't have much, and they lived in Section 8 government housing. Shalizi recalls his dad taking him and his sister to Burger King, and his dad wouldn't get anything for himself because he couldn't afford it. His father passed away when he was 17 years old, which put a huge responsibility on his shoulders.
So then it just made everything closer with me and my mom, and put that responsibility on me as the man of the house now to kind of provide and take care. So
regardless of the adversity, Moe was determined to succeed with his entrepreneurial mindset. As a kid, he sold candy to other kids in his apartment, and by the time he was a teenager, he would buy used cars, modify them with aftermarket cosmetics, and flip them for a profit. He understood the sacrifices that his parents had made for him, so he was determined to make sure that those sacrifices were worth it. After graduating high school, he attended UC Riverside, where he studied finance, something that he had promised his dad before he passed away. It was there that he discovered the electronic music scene after his friend took him to Nocturnal Wonderland. Shalizi immediately fell in love and wanted to be a DJ himself, so he went out and bought some decks. From there, he started throwing weekly EDM parties in Corona, which eventually grew to attract a few hundred kids at every event. Through the process of throwing these parties, he made a lot of connections, one of which being Stephen Pahel, who was a local photographer at the time, who also ran a blog called US Dubstep. Stephen later became Getter's manager, which isn't an important part of this story, but it is a cool fact just for reference. So anyways, Stephen was eventually asked to go on tour with Borgore as his photographer, and Stephen connected Moe with Borgore. Borgore had recently decided to start a management company to help up-and-coming artists, so he asked Moe to be a manager. Moe had no idea what that entailed, but he thought it would be a worthwhile opportunity, and he agreed. His first client was Sick Dope, a Polish DJ who met Borgore when he played a show in Poland. The backstory to this is that Sick Dope knew Borgore was coming to Poland, so he messaged him saying that he makes music and asked to collab. Borgore agreed, so they met up in Poland and made the song Unicorn Zombie Apocalypse, which was released on Spinnin' Records in 2014. So anyways, from there, Moe started to add more clients to his roster, one of which being an artist from Philadelphia, Chris Comstock, also known as .com. .com had been releasing music on Bygore, Borgore's record label, which is how he made the connection with Moe. After Moe had a year of management experience under his belt, he signed a new client, Jaws. Jaws had just made his famous track Feel the Volume, which basically pioneered the entire bass house genre. Moe sent the track to a friend who was a talent buyer at Insomniac, the event promotion company responsible for major festivals like EDC and Beyond Wonderland. Around this time, the friend was driving a golf cart around Burning Man playing the track. Diplo happened to be nearby, and he heard it and ran up to the friend asking whose track it was and said that he immediately wanted to sign it. After officially releasing the track on Mad Decent, Jaws started to pop off, which was a huge break for Moe, as he didn't make any money as a manager for the first 2 years.
Because, my family was just like, what are you doing? You manage birthday party DJs? Is this what it is? Why? And, at that time, nobody really knew what a DJ was,
Sure.
So my family thought I was a failure.
Eventually, Moe left Borgore's management company and was hired by Red Light Management due to his success with Jaws, so he moved to Los Angeles for the job. Around this time, Chris wanted to take a different direction musically, but knew that he needed a new alias because it wouldn't be received well if released under the .com brand. Chris had already started making music for Marshmello, but the idea of Marshmello didn't exist yet. Chris and Moe started brainstorming to come up with an accessible brand that was far from the typical superstar DJ persona.
We were tossing out names and we were like, yo, we have to do something that has a brand. So we were like, what about like, I think one of the names was like Chocolate Panda and it was like some other stuff. And we were just like going back and forth and they're like, no, that's dumb, that's dumb, that's dumb. Yeah. And then finally we were like, we were talking, we're like, yo, the music is super mellow. Like, what if we did like Marshmello?
Together, they came up with the name Marshmello, and Moe started to visualize what this character would look like. He enlisted a graphic designer who made the original design for the Marshmello character. From there, they started releasing a song a day on Marshmello's SoundCloud, and Moe's other clients would repost the tracks. With Jaws already being a well-known name by this point, his reposts gave Marshmello a lot of added firepower. It only took about 1 week of releasing a single per day for people to start to take interest in Marshmello's music. So once they realized that they were onto something, Moe started to meet with PR companies to see about potentially running a campaign, but they were just too expensive. Coachella was coming up, so they decided to buy a billboard near the festival for $5,000, even though Marshmello wasn't even playing at the festival. The billboard featured the first appearance of Marshmello alongside a quote that said, "I'm working hard now so that my future daughter doesn't have to sell detox tea on her social media." The billboard sparked curiosity in the onlookers, which added fuel to Marshmello's brand. A few months later, Skrillex hit up Moe asking who Marshmello is. At first, Moe was apprehensive about revealing Marshmello's identity, but Skrillex said that the music meant a lot to him and had helped him during a hard time, so Moe told him that it was Chris. Right around this time, Chris was spending some time in Los Angeles with Moe, and Moe forced Chris to call Skrillex, even though it was something that he didn't really feel comfortable doing. When Chris called Skrillex, he just so happened to be in the middle of an interview with Katie Couric, which was going to be airing on national television.
Tell me about this do with the shaved on the left side.
Just a haircut, and I decided to do it one day because I was bored, okay? I'm just so used to it too. Like I always get to this point, end up thinking, am I gonna grow it out? And then end up shaving it and calling my friend Nicole. And who's that right now?
It's Chris.
Oh, Marshmello. It'd be funny to
Should I
shout him
answer
out.
it?
Yeah.
Yo, 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 Marshmello.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Yo, well, I'm gonna meet up with you later. This kid, Marshmello, speaking of new talent,
Really?
this kid has remixed the Justin Bieber song, Where Are You Now? And this kid is making great music. For
Really?
real, on that young, new.
Great. Maybe I'll get to interview you one day, Marshmello.
Hopefully.
Yo, I'm gonna hit you back later, Marshmello.
Oh, man, yeah, sorry about that. Sorry.
It's
Don't
all
worry,
good.
bro.
It's all good.
Sorry, man.
Peace,
Bye.
dude.
It was a crazy chance moment, but Moe just assumed that the clip wasn't going to be included in the interview that actually aired on TV. But he was wrong. When it finally aired, the hype around Marshmello was at an all-time high, but that interview was also partially responsible for unraveling Marshmello's hidden identity, which didn't last very long. But that doesn't really matter at this point because Chris doesn't even try to hide it now, and most people are way more familiar with Marshmello than Chris Comstock or .com anyways. With Marshmello's national exposure, tons of show offers started pouring in, but Moe was declining every single one. He was conscious of the fact that perception is a major factor in the music industry. He knew that it's much harder to turn an opening act into a headliner as opposed to waiting for the hype to be enough to be able to start out as a headliner. Eventually, Marshmello was offered $30,000 to play Hard Day of the Dead, and they accepted under the condition that they got a high billing. Part of the deal was that Marshmello had to be in the promo video for the festival, so they had a guy make the first ever Marshmello helmet out of a rolled up yoga mat. Right before the video shoot, Moe took a picture of Marshmello and leaked it to Billboard, who immediately posted about how they had the first ever picture of Marshmello. This got picked up by a ton of blogs, making Marshmello even more viral before he had ever even set foot on a stage. Once the Hard Day of the Dead set took place, Marshmello was off to the races and quickly became one of the biggest DJs in the world and started landing radio hits just 2 years later. But this didn't happen without loads of creative marketing cooked up by Moe. He knew how to keep Marshmello in the public eye with clever stunts like having Tiesto reveal himself to be Marshmello at EDC and later pulling the same stunt with Shawn Mendes and Will Ferrell. This was a great way to get people in the United States to talk about Marshmello, but they weren't going to stop there. One unique aspect of Marshmello is universal appeal on a global scale, and Moe knew exactly how to make that happen. Whenever Marshmello would play shows in other countries, he would incorporate songs that were popular in that country's culture into his DJ sets, making Marshmello more relatable to those specific fans. Once Marshmello introduced his cooking show on YouTube, he would make dishes from all over the world in order to make fans from every culture feel seen. On top of all of that, Marshmello was also collaborating with some major influencers, as well as posting videos to YouTube where he would game with professional gamers like FaZe Banks and Ninja, further expanding his reach into new industries. Moe's efforts went well beyond the music industry though, as he was looking for as many different avenues as possible to expand the Marshmello brand. After all, they were taking a different approach than most, so they had their sights set on places that no other DJs were looking. In 2018, Marshmello launched a clothing brand called Martian, which was available nationwide at Zumiez, a popular retail chain. That same year, Moe landed Marshmello a spot on national television where he would be competing on American Ninja Warrior. Granted, there's no way that was actually Chris because Marshmello breezed through the course like it was nothing, but regardless, Marshmello gained even more exposure. At the end of that year, Marshmello got even more national TV time when he performed his hit song Happier alongside Bastille on The Voice. In 2022, Moe somehow worked out a deal where Marshmello would curate the music for ESPN's Monday Night Football, which is an insane deal seeing that the NFL is the most valuable sports league in the world. But even with all of the media exposure, I think there are 3 specific business deals that are far more impressive than anything else that Marshmello has done outside of music. The first of which was an idea brewed up at the 2019 Forbes 30 Under 30 conference where Marshmello and Moe met Mike Tierney, the founder of Stuffed Puffs. Stuffed Puffs bring a unique twist to the classic Marshmello as they have a chocolate center, making them perfect for s'mores. At the conference, Mike Tierney pitched an idea to Moe with hopes of having Marshmello come on board as part of the brand. They agreed, with Marshmello taking part ownership in the company, and soon after, the popularity of Stuffed Puffs skyrocketed. Stuffed Puffs originally launched in 2012, funded by Tierney's first business that sold gluten-free foods, but they didn't catch fire until the deal with Marshmello, and now Stuffed Puffs can be found in major retail chains all over America. On top of that, the growth of the company has created more jobs at the Stuffed Puffs factory located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Now, the second mind-blowing deal came that same year when it was announced that Marshmello would become a playable character in Fortnite, the most popular game in the world at the time. So, a little backstory here. As I mentioned earlier, Marshmello had started playing Fortnite with Ninja for his YouTube channel. This led to the two of them competing together in the 2018 Fortnite Pro-Am tournament, where they took home the gold. This opened the door for Marshmello and Moe to have a meeting with Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite. This meeting led to Marshmello being the first ever artist to hold a concert in the game in the following year in 2019. But Moe thought that they could do more than just that.
I was trying to pitch to them like, yo, how can Mello, I want Mello in the game. And they're like, we don't put people in the game. We don't want celebrities like to be able to buy into the game essentially.
Oh.
So then I like convinced them, I'm like, Mello's not a person.
Yeah.
It's a character.
Yeah.
So it's no different than you putting like Thanos in the game or Batman in the game, like all this shit. So they were like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense.
Now, even though Marshmello becoming a playable character in Fortnite is a huge deal, I'm pretty sure deadmau5 still holds the record for most video game appearances, and if you want to learn more about that, be sure to check out my deadmau5 video. Anyways, this brings us to what is possibly the most insane deal ever pulled off by Marshmello and Moe. This came in 2022 when Marshmello landed his own limited edition flavor of Coca Cola, the most popular soft drink in the world. The flavor was watermelon strawberry and came with Marshmello's name and face being front and center on every can. Now, I know that landing a deal with Coca Cola is far from the coolest thing that Marshmello has ever done, but let me put things into perspective. More than 2.1 billion servings of Coca Cola are consumed every day, so just think about the level of global exposure that this brought to Marshmello. The drink was available in the United States, UK, Canada, Brazil, Mexico, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, the Philippines, United Arab Emirates, Spain, and Japan. It's unknown just how big of a payday Marshmello and Moe got from this deal, but given the size of it, I can only imagine that it was more money than most people will ever see in their life. So as far as the music goes, Marshmello seems to have slowed down his touring schedule quite a bit in recent years, as he only has 5 upcoming shows, with 2 of those being part of his residency at XS Nightclub in Las Vegas. And it makes perfect sense because at this point, he clearly doesn't need the money, so there's no reason to put his body through the pains of rigorous touring. With that being said, he still releases a ton of music, still lands radio hits, and his record label Joytime Collective has been more active than ever, recently releasing a rhythm EP featuring collabs with artists like Infect and Samplifier, as well as a new album called Roots, featuring collabs from up-and-comers like Pluko and Viperactive. Within the dance music community, Marshmello seems to be a polarizing figure, as a lot of people are critical of his success. But whether or not you like Marshmello's music, it's hard to deny how innovative the project is, as there is a reason why Marshmello is the most recognizable DJ in the world. On top of that, the reach his project has is healthy for the longevity of the dance music scene, as he has likely created millions of new dance music fans that will eventually find their way to much smaller artists, many of which are being championed by Marshmello himself. Marshmello is often accused of being an industry plant, but now that you know the full story, it's clear that that just isn't the case. He just had the perfect team around him and got a few lucky breaks along the way, but he's far from an artificially created artist persona being shoved down people's throats by major labels.